is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and we have Ice Barrier support coming from the Ice Barrier structure deck, coming out in the OCG, and there's 3 cards that they revealed. I just went and saw how many cards there was. I didn't really look at their effects. I just scrolled through really fast to see how many cards there were, and there's 3. So, first card up, Trishula Sub-Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier, which is a Water Dragon Synchro Effect, level 11, 2700 attack, 2000 defense, 1 tuner plus 2 or more non-tuner monsters. Its second effect is a hard once per turn. First effect, when this card is synchro summoned, you can banish up to 3 cards your opponent controls. If this card is synchro summon, the synchro summon card is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier from your extra deck or graveyard, but its attack becomes 3300. Then, if your opponent controls any face-up monsters, have their attacks and negate their effects. This card is actually insane. The only downside I can mention about it is it is a level 11, so it does require some investment, which is fine, but you also get to banish up to 3 cards they control. Second downside I could say about this card is that first effect is a win and an optional win effect, so it can miss timing. Keep that in mind if you attempt to play this card in the future. However, this card is just so good that I don't think that that's going to really matter. If your deck can make synchro 11s without really without being without stressing your resources too much, I think this card is fantastic, and the fact that it replaces itself if it's destroyed by an opponent's card, no matter what, is also really good. Not only that, negating and having the attack of all the opponent's monsters and their effects. Whew, this card does a lot, and it's kind of on par with the other ones, because the other Trish and Ice Barrier Synchro monsters were really, really powerful. It was that the reason this deck was infamously bad is that the main deck monsters were super, super bad. They had no way to really summon themselves out to actually summon their synchro monsters, and it was really hard for the deck to really get going, and it tried to set up this lock, and the only way to get it really working was Soul Charge. But with new support coming out, maybe the deck can be functional. It doesn't have to be, meta or anything. It just has to work functionally. And so yeah, hopefully we'll get that support. Next up is Mirror Master of the Ice Barrier. Water Spellcaster effect, level 4, 1700 attack, 1000 defense. Second and third effects are hard ones per turn. While you control an Ice Barrier monster, your opponent cannot tribute summon. Okay, so that's one of their things too, is they care about having other Ice Barrier monsters and they stop your opponent from doing something. That's their whole thing. I'm sorry. Anyway, you can discard 1 card, special summon an Ice Barrier tuner monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except water monsters. 3, if you would activate an Ice Barrier monster's effect by sending cards from your hand to the graveyard or discarding them, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead of one of those cards. So this card is kind of like a do-it-all for the deck. It's definitely there to help you get to your synchro monsters, and because the tuners weren't great, like I said, none of the Ice Barriers really allowed you to special summon more. They do have a search card that's at 3, so if we get enough good support, it could be a decent rogue deck or thing to look out for. But as of now, this card is fantastic. It kind of does it all for the deck, and if you're going to search any card, this is probably it. So far, this is the card to search for. Out of all the other ones, like I said, there's 2 decent ones back in the day, and then the rest were really hard to justify. So yeah, definite improvement on the Ice Barrier archetype. I hope more of them have this type of effect right here that summons out more. I hope they, kind of keep their identity of wanting more ice barrier friends. And yeah, last card to talk about, Frost Spirit of the Ice Barrier. Water Sea Serpent Tuner effect. It's a level 1. While you control another Ice Barrier monster, your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. Okay, staying on theme. During your main phase, you can send a level 3 or lower Ice Barrier monster from your deck. If you do, this card's level becomes the sent monster's level. So, the idea is you use this to summon out this dude right here, this little Frost Spirit, and then you can make their 6 or their 7. You can't make Trishula right away, but that's fine. Something that you could keep in mind is if you were to... So, a little combo I just thought of is you go 10 goldfish into that level 4, right? That's 2 level 4s. You use the level 4 right here's effect in order to special summon out this. Then you use this effect, send a level 3, and you have access to the big Trishula. So that is something to keep in mind when you are building this deck. If you want to build ice barriers, that's a little neat thing to throw in there. Plus, ice barriers, we'll have to see what extra support the structure deck gives them. But definitely, this is a definite step in the right direction for the deck. They still have their identity of caring about having more ice barrier monsters on the field, and they're fixing a lot of the inherent problems of the deck being so slow that it didn't even function back when it really came out. So yeah, that's it for today. Tell me what you guys think about the new ice barrier monsters. Are you excited for them? Do you think that this isn't going to help the deck at all? Because the deck isn't playable like in the slightest at the moment. So like at all. I guess it technically is playable, but there's enough cards to make a 40 card deck, but it's not really good. It's not even good enough to play like casually. Most of the ice barriers are really slow. Anyway, yeah, tell me what you guys think though. Do you think that these are steps in the right direction like I do? Does your opinion differ, like this isn't enough and they'd have to basically retrain the whole archetype to make it work? Just and everything. If you're not subscribed and you're new here, why don't you subscribe? We have more videos and stuff like that you can check out. We talk about cards here a lot. I don't have a lot of gameplay on the channel anymore, but that's something I'm looking to kind of correct in the future with streams. Maybe upload highlights or VODs. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I definitely need to start streaming at some point. And I mean to start streaming at some point. Not need to, but I mean to. And yeah, if it is your birthday today, happy birthday. I've been rambling on. If you want to send me any cool deck profiles or replays, my email's in the description, JankyYGO@gmail.com. Go ahead and do so. Send me those YDK deck profile, or YDK YRP, for replay, and YDK for deck profiles. Everything. If you have Edo Pro, or if you have the what's it called, or if you also have Dueling Network, or not Dueling Network, I'm old, Dueling Book, you can, there's a way to download your deck profile and send it in. I don't know how to do replays on there yet, but, so yeah, either or, and of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.